The fact that he was the highest of God's angels is probably what caused him to fall to begin with. Just he became puffed up with his own power.
He wanted it all, man.
Greatness. So.
Well, hello, everybody. Once again, I want to welcome you to the Uncensored Pilgrims podcast. As always, I'm Marty McLain, along with the always ever-increasing, irrepressible
Paul Price.
I just have to keep adding things there because he is expanding. He is. He's a growing man. He is very much expanding. And today we're going to talk about the topic of angels. Okay, so I wonder if has anyone seen an angel out there this week? What about you, Paul? Have you seen an angel this week, or have you ever seen an angel in your life?
I'm just contemplating all the ways that I'm expanding right now.
Oh goodness, what'd you have for lunch, man? Let's talk about angels. Have you ever seen an angel?
I do not know.
Oh,
because the Bible does say you might have seen one without realizing it.
True. Paul just lays the word on us sometimes and makes us feel uncertain about our answers.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Paul may have...
Okay, how about this? I have not seen an angel knowing that I saw an angel, but that doesn't mean I haven't seen one.
Okay. I have actually seen someone who has pretended to be an angel.
Okay.
Yes. I've met somebody who's pretended to be an angel.
Okay, how does that work?
Well, my daughter Macy is an actress, and she's done a series with Roma Downey.
Okay.
And I've met Roma, my wife Stephanie and I have met Roma twice on the set of The Baxters, which is a series that my daughter Macy was in. They had 3 series in the can, but it got bought out by Amazon. It has not even been put out anywhere yet. But that's another story.
Okay.
But, Roma Downey...
You mean episodes?
Yeah, what did I say?
Series.
No, I'm sorry. They have 3 seasons.
Seasons?
Yes, they have actually filmed 3 seasons of this show, and it still has not been released. No.
Why would you... I don't even see how you could film more than 1 season without it going on there.
That's Hollywood, man.
Wow. I didn't know that's
There's
how
no
that
business like show business.
Wow. Okay.
So anyway, she was on that show, Touched by an Angel. Did you ever watch that? It was on CBS from 94 to 2003. It had Roma Downey and Della Reese. They were they were angels. I think Della Reese might have been a more important angel. I really didn't watch it much.
I think this is getting confused in my mind with a different one. I think it was called Seventh Heaven.
I
think I'm getting confused now.
Well, let me tell you, this angel thing with Roma Downey and Della Reese. Della Reese was supposed to be the mentor, I think, and trying to help Roma Downey, whatever her character name was in that show, learn how to be help people as an angel.
Okay,
That's all I can. And they say, I've heard somewhere that every time a bell rings, an angel gets his wings.
Yeah, I don't know how that works.
That happened to Clarence, right? It's a Wonderful Life.
Because I don't think new angels are being created, so you would think that by now bells have rung enough.
If
that
they ain't got the wings by now, they're just not going to get them.
Yeah. There's been more than enough time in the past 6,000 years of Earth history.
Young Earth creationist Paul Price making it known.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have a series like Touched by an Angel. And let me just say something. I've got something I don't know if this will break. Della Reese she's gone. She's passed away, but Roma Downey's still alive. And, there aren't any women angels in the Bible.
Yeah, I'm aware of that.
There's one passage where there is a vision that's going and that's given. It's in Zechariah 5:9. It talks about 2 women. They have wings like a stork. Of course, a stork would be an unclean bird, according to Leviticus 11. I'm sorry. It's going to Shinar, which is Babylon. It's kind of an end time prophecy thing, and so many say these 2 ladies, they're not. It's just a vision. They're not angels. Now, we're only given the name of 2 angels in the Bible.
Yeah, and just to touch on that topic real quick of women angels, if you think about what the Bible tells us about the creation of Eve, the first woman, she was created specially for Adam.
Right.
So if you look at that, why would we expect to see female angels?
Okay.
Given that fact, because why would we expect that if
See, this
if
is why
women,
Paul gets the big bucks.
yeah,
It's stuff like this.
women were created specially for men, like in the Garden of Eden, all the angels had already been
But
created.
have you
at
seen
that
the new
point.
Barbie movie?
No,
Okay, I don't think this.
I don't plan on it.
Okay, never mind. Scratch
Yeah,
that remark.
I've heard it's very feminist, but
You know, Ken is just an accessory.
okay.
So
Okay.
anyway, but that's neither here nor there. It's in your local theater.
Yeah. But no, it seems like the concept of, and this is another interesting point, because the Bible doesn't say anything about female animals, how they were created. The Bible, I would say, just implies that that animals were made male and female
Right.
from the start.
Right.
But that wasn't the case with humanity,
Right. That's a good point. I've never thought about that.
which is interesting too. But
getting back to female angels.
getting back to the female angels, you're correct. The Bible doesn't specifically mention any that would be female.
Right. The two angels that we are given by name, other than some Lucifer, Satan, Lucifer, but the two ones are Michael and
Gabriel.
Gabriel. That's right. And only Michael is given as an archangel. Gabriel's not technically listed as an archangel. So you have in our culture today, you have a perception that people have of what angels are, who they are. You have TV shows that depict angels. Well, let me ask you another one. Have you ever seen Highway to Heaven with Michael Landon?
No.
He was originally Little Joe on Bonanza, and then he grew up and became Charles Ingalls
Okay.
on Little House on the Prairie.
Okay.
And then after he died...
We do have Bonanza.
Bonanza...
Amanda's a big Bonanza fan. I'm not hugely into it.
What's the name of this? The salty son, not Hoss, but Adam. Adam, he was the one that I always said... I remember growing up, my mom would say, Adam's from Waycross. I said, really? Adam's from Waycross? Yeah, Adam's from Waycross.
Huh.
Anyway, he later became a medical doctor.
Interesting.
On, I forget the name of the show, one of the medical doctor shows. But anyway, so you had Highway to Heaven, that ran from 84 to 89. You had one show recently called Good Omens. Have you heard of that?
No.
Well, it's probably best. There's a friendship on the show between an angel and a demon. And it's getting close to the apocalypse, and they're trying to find the 11-year-old Antichrist because they kind of don't want things to end.
Wow.
So, yeah, I've never seen that.
That's bizarre.
The Angels in the Outfield, you probably have that on VHS.
I have passed it up on many occasions.
You have passed it up.
I have passed it over, yeah.
Do you remember Charlie's Angels?
Heard of it, yeah.
Okay, they weren't technically angels. That's just what he called them. Anyway, just some modern uses of angels in our culture. What about some songs? Do you remember Undercover Angel by Alan O'Day?
No.
Undercover Angel, Midnight Fantasy. We'll leave it at that. I think he has a kind of a weird perception of the angel there. You had Jay Giles' band. He talked about a girl from high school that made an unfortunate career choice, I would say. Let's leave it at that.
Mm-hmm.
Charlie Pride. Have you ever heard of Charlie Pride?
No.
He was like, he's African American. He was one of the original black country music singers. I mean, Charlie Pride, the man could sing. I mean, I remember listening to him when I was a boy. But he had a song that said, "Kiss an angel good morning, and love her like the devil when you get back home." I'm kind of mixed with that one.
That's mixed. That's a mixed message.
Kind of mixed. We understand what he means by it, but theologically,
Yeah.
So anyway,
I've listened to the song "Jacob's Ladder." Have you heard that song?
Jacob's Ladder.
That's
Tell
an
me
80s
about it.
song.
Okay. Who sings that?
I can't even remember who sings it.
Well, let me ask you this: have you ever heard? Of course, we're not too far from Fort Payne, Alabama. That's the home of Alabama, the country music group.
The music group.
Yeah, they had a song that was called "Angels Among Us." You remember that? Now,
No.
of all the songs about angels, this one probably is one that we could most go with.
Okay.
Okay, because we're not going to go with Undercover Angel, I don't think, or the Jay Giles Band. No. Even Charlie Pride, we understand what he means, but no.
Yeah.
But Alabama, here's what they say in their song. It says, "Oh, I believe that there are angels among us, sent down to us from somewhere up above. They come to you and me in our darkest hours to show us how to live, to teach us how to give, to guide us with the light of love. I mean, there's some guiding stuff with some angels and sent down for us. You see?
I think when I picture what angels are doing,
Yes.
so in my mind, what they probably spend more time than anything else doing is keeping the demons away from us.
Well, we're going to talk about some of that. And we do know from Luke chapter 15:10 that they rejoice every time a sinner repents.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, they're up there getting
So
excited.
I mean, they're called the Watchers in some places.
Mm-hmm.
So they definitely watch what's going on, and they have a role to play. They don't just watch.
See, right here, Paul is taking a hard turn, okay? This
Yeah.
is a hard turn, okay? We're transitioning here. This is seamless right here,
Seamless.
okay? This is very seamless.
Yeah.
Okay, so, some of the modern depictions in our culture about angels, I will share this with you, too. I thought that you would be interested in this. This is a Yahoo article. Okay.
Written by some Yahoo.
Yeah, her name is Sunny Dawn Johnston.
A woman named Sunny?
Yeah, Sunny.
Interesting.
It's a sunny day.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Here's the name of the article. Are you constantly seeing the number 111? Angels may be sending you a message. Now, this is a Yahoo article. Okay.
That's not happened to me before.
No, but she says, many wonder, do angels really exist? Does love live on after we're gone? Are we guided by a loving force that is greater than us? In my 35 years as an angel expert, now she's an angel expert, don't discount her, okay?
Okay, is that accredited?
I have learned that the answer to all these questions is a resounding yes. This is from Woman's World. Okay?
Woman's World.
Yes.
That is a very well-regarded academic journal.
Okay, she said one of the special ways of messaging, so to speak, is by placing sequential numbers in our paths. Here we explore the common angel number 111 and how it can help guide you on your journey. Now, Paul, you're going to be looking for 3 numbers.
Are you sure you didn't get this from the grocery store?
No, I
the
did
checkout
not. I did not
counter?
get it from the checkout. I got it from the internet, so I know it's right. It says an angel number represents a recurring or predictable sequence or pattern of numbers such as 111, 222, or 444, and so on. These numbers can manifest in everyday occurrences like a license plate, clocks, receipts, or even price tags. Angel numbers are messages from your angels, the universe, and or God. Okay, so when you consistently encounter an angel number, it serves as a signal to be attentive to the little things around you. All right, so when next time you get a triple number, you get a 555.
What if you get a 666? Is that from an angel?
Well, I think they actually say something about the triple sixes in here, that it's not as bad as you think it is. So that kind of gives me a little bit of a red flag, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But anyway, I can't...
I'll tell you, I have had for a long time, probably decades, a little habit of just noticing when the clock says 9:11.
Yeah.
I just can't help it. Like
Yeah.
when the clock says 9:11, it just sticks out to my head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you, how long have you been married?
Since 2012.
Since 2012. So y'all been married over 10 years now.
Uh-huh.
Okay, this is what happens. This is what 111 symbolizes. It symbolizes a fresh start and great possibilities in the matters of the heart. She says, if you are happily married or in a committed relationship, seeing 111 is a reminder to create some fresh energy by finding some new and exciting ways to reconnect with your partner. It asks you to be open and try new things. If you are still seeking your soulmate, like Kip and LaFonda, know that seeing 111
I thought you were going to say Uncle
continuously-
Rico.
No, Uncle Rico. He did find it. She came back to him.
Yes.
But he had a broken arm. By seeing continuously 111, it's a sign that it is time to step up and stop waiting for your love to find you. Go out and find it. So,
Does she cite any sources on any of this?
no, but she does say that there's an angel named Jophiel that is associated with 111. That's all I know.
Is that an angel that she has personal interaction with?
I don't know, but she, it's a Yahoo article, man.
Man, that's got to be high quality stuff.
High quality stuff. You're exactly right.
Let me get your opinion on this. What do you think about the pronunciation of angel names? Because, in English we tend to totally gloss over the Hebrew.
Okay.
Like, for example, does it bother you that people say Barnabas when you really think you ought to be saying, because bar means son of.
Barnabas?
So shouldn't it be Barnabas?
Nabas.
Shouldn't it be Barnabas, not Barnabas? Shouldn't that be where we break the syllable on that?
I'm from South Georgia, so if you ask me anything about grammar, it's just background.
And that,
It's just white noise. You're saying it, but I'm really not hearing it.
And then the same thing is true of the angel names, like Gabriel. Shouldn't it really be Gabriel? And Michael should really be Mikael.
Man, you are really this is next level stuff.
Yeah, that's next level.
I mean, this is definitely next level stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, you could say my name Marty.
Yeah.
I mean,
but L means what?
Huh?
You know what L means, right?
L.
What does L mean?
L. You mean God?
E-L. It means God. Yeah. Yeah. So, why aren't we emphasizing that?
L.
Yeah. Because it's something of God, right?
Yeah.
I don't even know what all the Hebrew means there. Like, what does Gabri mean and Mika? I don't know. But they mean something in relation to God.
Right.
So
you want, okay, so you're the type of guy, you go to the Christian bookstore and you look up your name Paul, and of course every man's name means mighty warrior. So you get that on your coffee cup and on your belt buckle, right?
Mine actually means humble.
Oh.
So it's kind of the opposite.
Oh.
That's what Pavlos.
It doesn't mean
Pavlos.
irrepressible.
It means humble in Latin.
I'm sorry, for you people in Alabama, it's humble.
Humble.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Actually, I have a friend from Alabama, and he always said humble.
But Pavlos, the first name of Paul the Apostle, is actually a Roman family name.
Okay.
So he took somebody's last name and made it into his first name.
Okay. People do that nowadays. Like, somebody will be named Mackenzie.
I know that's one of them. There's lots of examples.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, there was a guy named McLain Stevenson. He was.
Some people have a last name of Paul too,
and but he spelled it Lean. And of course, that's how they used to spell our names. Well, I was told until somebody got mad at somebody else. So we showed them we spelled our name
spelled
differently.
it differently.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
my
showed
goodness.
them, man. I mean, I don't think they ever got over it.
Oh.
Okay. Well, Paul, let me ask you something else about angels before we get really cranking into what exactly who angels are. What do you think about guardian angels? Do we have guardian angels?
See, I don't know. I don't know if there's It's
based upon Matthew 18:10. Okay.
What is it? What is Matthew 18:10?
Take heed that you do not despise one of these little ones, for I say to you that in heaven their angels always see the face of my Father who is in heaven.
Okay.
Okay, and also we know from Hebrews 1:14, are they not ministering spirits sent forth to minister to those who will inherit salvation? So we know angels are sent. They are sent to minister to us.
Yeah, but I don't know that we can sit here and say that every human being has exactly one angel assigned to them.
What would your angels, are you talking about names? What would the name of your angel be?
Hopefully something that ends
Ricky
with L.
or something? El Ricky?
Hopefully something that ends with L and not something like Simjaza or something.
Simjaza. Oh, I was going to ask you.
That's from the book of Enoch.
What about, talking about names? We do know that the names of two angels are Gabriel and Michael. And also, we failed to mention that in our culture, there was a movie named Michael about an angel, and it starred John Travolta, or know him as Travolta.
Yes,
I say Revolta. I used to read Mad Magazine or Cracked when I was a child. I don't know where my mom and dad were. Why did I have that magazine? But I remember they did a spoof on him, and they called him John Revolta. And ever since then, I've always thought of him as John Revolta.
If you look at him in this,
he looks sleazy.
Apparently he is, because it says he's a grubby party animal who knows his way around a dance floor.
Of course, now they took that from Saturday Night Fever, man.
Oh,
They just wrote off that, man. That's terrible.
But he's depicted as having literal white, like feathered wings.
Those
on his
look
back.
store-bought.
They do look store-bought. So I'm not okay with that presentation there. That looks pretty.
Where's the CGI
flaky.
when you need it, man?
That looks pretty flaky, if you ask me.
Yeah, and so I mean, I cannot imagine Vinny Barbarino from Welcome Back, Kotter. That's where you got to start.
Okay, I haven't seen that.
But anyway, he was kind of really nice hoodlum.
I haven't come across that one in the Value Village yet.
You need to go look for that because they had Juan Epstein on there as well, and Horseshack.
Okay.
You don't remember those characters? Juan
No.
Epstein was a Puerto Rican Jew.
Uh-huh.
I mean, he'd identify himself as a Puerto Rican Jew. And he'd always miss school or come in late, and he'd have an excuse note from his mom, and it'd always be signed Juan Epstein's mother. Anyway, he would actually write those notes himself. But Michael is a movie I've not seen, and I don't think that...
I don't think you need to, honestly.
I don't think I'm going to see it now. As far as guardian angels go, I'm gonna do something that's probably going to blow your mind. And now Paul's got a pretty big brain, so this might be a rather large explosion. But I am going to quote John Piper.
John Piper.
Quoting John Calvin.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, I got 10 points here.
That's what.
This is. I mean, we got a 5-pointer in the original 5-pointer, but I don't know if Calvin was an original 5-pointer. But we got 10 points here.
This is actually. Let me correct you. When a Calvinist quotes directly from John Calvin, that's exponential.
So we're not.
You're talking 100 points.
Okay, 100. Okay, Paul.
No. Sorry, 25.
20. You may not hear.
There was another one of my famous math
5
errors.
5 times 5 is 25.
Yeah,
not 10
but
times
I
10.
caught myself this time.
Oh man.
I almost went down with another math mistake.
Is that your Achilles?
I guess it is while I'm talking to this microphone. Normally I seem to do okay.
I think you do. I mean, your job. I mean, everything. But
but anyway, yeah. So we got 25 points here.
Okay, here's 25 points. This is John Piper quoting John Calvin. I know if we have any Calvinists out there listening, you are probably euphoric right now.
Yes.
So let me go ahead and give this to you, so you won't just like go running down the road. It says, quote, "The interpretation given to this passage," speaking about the Matthew 18 that we read a few minutes ago, "the interpretation given to this passage by some commentators as if God assigned to each believer his own angel does not rest on solid ground. For the words of Christ do not mean that a single angel is continually occupied with this or the other person. And such an idea is inconsistent with the whole doctrine of Scripture, which declares that the angels encamp around," references Psalm 34:7, "the godly, and that not one angel only, but many have been commissioned to guard every one of the faithful. Away then with the fanciful notion of a good and evil angel, and let us rest satisfied with holding that the care of the whole church is committed to angels to assist each member as his necessities require."
Yeah.
Now, what do you think about this?
When he says the good and the evil angel, is he talking about like the ones on your shoulder, like
some of the
good one on your shoulder and
early
an
church
evil one on the
fathers
other
thought
shoulder?
that you had an angel assigned to you and a demon.
Yeah, I don't find that very credible.
No. I mean, I'm not saying you do.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that some of the early church fathers said that you had an angel assigned to you and you have a demon. Now, let me read a few little items to you real quickly here, Paul. This is from Erickson's Christian theology book. Now, if you want
Miller J. Erickson?
Yeah, Miller J. Erickson. If you want a good theology book, he's got it. It's really big. I've had it for 30 years, over 30 years, and it looks like I've had it for 70. But here's what he says: "By angels we mean those spiritual beings which God created higher than man, some of whom have remained obedient to God and carry out his will, and others of whom disobeyed, lost their holy condition, and now oppose and hinder his work." He continues on. He says the primary Hebrew word for angel, he gives it. I'm going to let you pronounce that. You like to pronounce the words? Pronounce that Hebrew word.
Malak.
Okay. The corresponding Greek word is?
Angelos.
Angelos. Okay. In each case, the basic meaning is messenger.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, some of the ways that angels are referred to in Scripture as sons of Elam, holy ones, sons of Elohim, watchers, the council, the assembly, host or hosts, So these are just some of the ways. The principalities, the bad angels are referred to sometimes as principalities, powers, thrones, dominions, authorities. The term archangel appears in two passages, 1 Thessalonians 4:16 and Jude 9. In the later, Michael is named as an archangel. Now here's some additional items about angels. They are not glorified human beings. And you've got to understand that when somebody dies, Paul, this is going to rock your world, man. When somebody dies, they don't become an angel.
Oh, yeah, and they don't get a halo either.
They don't become an angel.
I do know what does happen because I've seen the movie Ghost.
Well, what happens?
Well, the good ones, they go off into a tunnel, and the bad ones, there's some black, like, shadowy figures that come out of the floor and grab them and drag them away.
Good grief, man.
But some...
Is that on a VHS or DVD, or did you stream that movie? You don't stream anything.
I don't really stream much, except... I mean, we watch some YouTube and such, but you haven't seen Ghost?
No. That must have come, like I said, that must have come out in the 1990s when I was sanctified.
I think it did. I think you were too much of a saint to watch it.
I was sanctified during that time that movie came out. That's why I missed that one.
My favorite part of that movie is the ghost on the train. There's a ghost. See, in that movie, you can hang around on Earth after you're dead.
Just kind of hang out.
Just hang out.
You really don't have to leave.
You don't have. It's kind of like this other movie that I'm not even going to mention by name, that we have established that you're never going to watch.
Oh, Beetlejuice! You're right. I'm never going to watch that movie, man.
It's kind of like that where you can hang around if you want. And
there's a politician they said looked like Beetlejuice, but I won't mention her name. But go ahead.
I don't know who you could be referring to.
I won't say it.
Okay. But anyway, yeah, in Ghost, there's a train that's haunted by this. It's a subway train, and this guy just yells, "Get off my train!"
It's not somebody just strung out?
Well, that's what it looks like.
Yeah.
But he can pass through the walls of the train, and he
just stays. That's a little different.
He just stays on the train, and Patrick Swayze gets on, and he's dead. He's dead
What's
at this
this
point.
deal with Travolta and Swayze, man?
Yeah.
All the dancers.
Yeah, Swayze, he's dead, but he's hanging around. But this other ghost is like, "Get off my train!" He doesn't want him there.
So, are they trying to make it where angels are supposed to be dancers?
I guess.
Is that what Hollywood's looking for?
I guess so. I guess that's what they're on.
Okay,
they're on
angels don't have material bodies, although they can have bodies. I know there's a big debate about that, and obviously, they had bodies when they came and got Lot and his family out of Sodom and Gomorrah, and they had bodies that so much so that the homosexual men there in Sodom wanted to rape the angels.
Yeah.
They wanted to gang rape the angels, and that's bad stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't.
Yeah.
There's no way you can get around that, Paul.
No.
That's just terrible.
No, they definitely can manifest physically, and I think it's a clue to the fact that we have kind of a oversimplified way of looking at reality when we think about there's the natural and then there's the supernatural.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think reality works that way. I think it's just reality.
Yeah.
We don't need to have this division in our head of natural and supernatural.
Yeah.
Everything God created is natural.
It's all happening.
Yeah, it's all happening. It's all part of His creation. We don't need to divide it in our head.
You better live as though the seen is controlled by the unseen, because let me tell you something, the unseen has a major bearing on what's seen.
I think it's a way that we get mind controlled without realizing it by the enemy, because we're taught to think of everything that we see as quote unquote natural.
Yeah.
And then if we don't see it, then that makes it somehow supernatural.
Huh.
But I don't think it really works like that.
Well, here's another one. This is what my professor had written in this book that I had. I think it was John Mahoney that I had years ago. Angels, they are a company and not a race. All created at the same time. Think about that.
Well, that's why I doubt the whole guardian angel thing, because if God created one angel for every one person, what does that angel do for the most of the history of the earth?
A lot
when
of
you're
them,
not alive?
we just got, you're right, because there's a lot of them twiddling their thumbs, because...
Or is it just an assignment like that happens when, you'd have to...
Yeah, you just get into all kinds of things.
You get into all kinds of weirdness with that.
Okay, it says they have great knowledge, but they're not omniscient. Okay.
Yeah.
They are stronger than man, but they're not omnipotent.
They're also not infallible.
That's true.
And the Bible even says that we as saints one day will judge angels.
That's true. That's true.
So that's an interesting thought.
And here's some organizations of hierarchy, if you will, of some angels. You have the archangel, the cherubim, the seraphim, and the living creatures mentioned in Revelation chapter 4. So that's just some, a little bit of odds and ends about angels.
Let me ask you this question.
Okay.
When the Bible says that we as saints are going to judge angels,
Okay.
I believe it was Paul that said that, right?
Seems like that would be Paul.
But do you think he was talking about fallen angels or unfallen angels when he said that? Or both?
I would think. I don't know if we would have to judge good angels.
Well, that's what I'm asking.
Yeah.
I
think it would just be...
But just because it's an unfallen angel, does that mean it's that the angel is incapable of doing anything wrong at all? So are we just maybe judging...
Well, then you'd have to say, are angels capable of still rebelling, or is that time over?
Well, I don't mean even rebelling. I just mean if they made a mistake or if they did something they shouldn't have done.
So you watched It's a Wonderful, Wonderful Life. You think Clarence made some mistakes?
I was thinking, no, I didn't see that.
You have not seen that?
No.
Paul, you got no joke, guys. He's got I don't know how many VHSs down here of old movies, and
that's another one that I have passed over into Value Village.
He has never watched It's a Wonderful, Wonderful Life.
I thought it was just one wonderful on there.
I don't know. Maybe I just get excited about it.
But
maybe I give it 2 wonderful. Maybe I might even give it 3 wonderful.
Yeah, but I have passed it over. It's an old black and white movie, and I just passed it over.
But man, it's really good.
Now I do like what's it called? The
Jingle All the Way.
No,
come on,
A Christmas Carol. You like A Christmas Carol?
Yeah, Chucky Dickens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got several versions of that. My favorite one is the one with Bill Murray, Scrooged.
Yeah, I don't think
that one you haven't seen because you're sanctified.
I think that was the '90s, and I was sanctified at the time, and I just didn't bring myself to watch it, man.
Yeah, but aren't those angels in the Christmas Carol? The angel of Christmas.
The ghost,
or are they called ghosts?
Man, you need.
So I don't know if they're angels or not.
So you done got on that ghost kick about that subway, and now you're bringing up ghosts from Charles Dickens, man. What's up with that?
Yeah, well, are they supposed to be ghosts or angels?
I think he calls them ghosts, doesn't he?
Yeah, but the truth is the Bible doesn't really talk about ghosts. It talks about angels.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's the Holy Ghost, the Holy Spirit.
Right.
And then there's
angels,
Then there's the spirits of human beings. You can call those ghosts. But the Bible doesn't suggest anywhere that those human spirits inhabit the world after death.
Yeah.
Like the movies say. So,
yeah, now that's I don't
think
the only thing that, speaking of that, I mean, we may go here in just a second. Genesis chapter 6. Obviously, you have the sons of God and the daughters of men. There's some cohabitation.
Yes.
Maybe some, how do you say it? Procreation.
Yes.
And many believe that that's where obviously that's where the giants came from, the Nephilim, the men of renown.
Yes.
And that obviously they die.
Uh-huh.
And many believe that the spirits of the Nephilim, the offspring from the fallen angels and from the daughters of men, the spirits of the Nephilim, when they die, they stay here on earth, and they are what we know as the demons.
Yeah.
Now, Michael Heiser is a big proponent of that.
Is he a proponent of that?
I think so.
Okay.
And so
I heard he passed away.
He passed away. He's no longer with us.
Yeah. But no, I don't have any strong opinion on that. I think that's possible, but
but then you would have to say if there was. So do you believe in the cohabitation of the fallen angels with the?
Oh, definitely, because the Bible teaches.
Obviously there would be an offspring between the angels and the women, right? If they had the men of the Nephilim.
Those are the Nephilim.
But what happens to the Nephilim? Or
Nephilim?
We had this discussion. Nephilim or Nephilim, tomato. He says tomato. I say tomato.
I think in the Hebrew it would be Nephilim.
Potato, huh?
I think in the Hebrew it would be Nephilim.
You are the pronouncer. I'm from South Georgia, man.
Yeah, but But like I said, I don't have but I definitely do believe that that happened. That the angels, the fallen angels, procreated, created the Nephilim. The Nephilim were killed by the flood.
Right. They did. There was a second. Many believe there was a second incursion after the flood that was associated with the Tower of Babel.
Yeah,
and the splitting up.
That I haven't been convinced of. The second incursion.
But you know, in chapter 6, it does say that they were on the earth then and later.
It says and afterward.
Yeah.
And that's been an issue for me to try to figure out what that's talking about.
Yes, that kind of makes it a little bit dicey.
Yeah, it says they were on the earth in those days and also afterward, but it doesn't explain what it means by afterward.
So say there was a byproduct of the cohabitation, the union, the sexual union between fallen angels and the daughters of men.
Yeah.
And they died, then what happens to, I mean, they don't go to heaven or hell. I mean, they're not created in the image of God.
Well,
so
I don't.
That's why many believe that the spirits that of the Nephilim or Nephilim, that they would stay on this earth, and many believe that those are what we know as demons. And demons are different from the fallen angels. And there's some fallen angels that have been locked up, and your word Tartarus.
Tartarus, yes.
Yes, we need some Tartarus control, and
and a lot of that has been the inspiration for a lot of the ancient mythologies, the ancient Greek and Roman mythologies.
Yeah. So some fallen angels are not locked up, obviously, because, even in the book of Daniel, when, Michael tried to get through, but he couldn't because the Prince of Persia was hindering him. I mean, there's some type of angelic craziness going on there.
Yes. Yes.
So there's more going on than what we realize. So, not all angels have been locked up. You can see that in Jude as well, in what, 1st or 2nd Peter. And so some would say that, okay, the demons they want a body. That's why they will possess a person. They can possess an animal like the swine.
Yes.
The pigs, and when Jesus cast them out of the Gadarene demoniac.
Yes.
So they seek for a body because they're disembodied.
Yeah.
And then sometimes when they find a body, they go get 7 of their friends who are a little bit worse than they are and bring them.
I think it's interesting that the demons can inhabit collectively one body. More than one demon can be in a single body. That's an interesting concept.
Yeah, somebody becomes an everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, how does that work? I don't know. It's an interesting thought. Like,
yeah,
but,
yeah, and so here you have with these angels. You have good angels. We would say, based on a passage in Revelation, we believe about a third of the angels did fall.
Does it say that? I can't remember now.
Yeah.
Does it say it was a third?
Yeah. But there's someone in Revelation. I should have reference. But you know what? This is just one of those times, Paul. I just don't have the reference.
That's okay.
Okay.
I can let it pass.
We'll let it pass like a kidney stone. Okay. So, but getting back to this, no guardian angels. There are no female angels. I don't want to. I hate to burst everybody's bubble. But we don't have any evidence of a female. We're not being misogynistic. Is that the word I'm looking for, or is that too strong of a word?
It's too strong of a word.
What patriarchal?
I mean, you can say that there's no biblical evidence. You can't say they don't exist.
Thank you, Paul. See, that's why you are just a word crafter.
Yeah,
you are, man.
There's no biblical evidence. That's all we need to say.
All right, no biblical evidence that there are female angels, and we don't have any evidence that you have one specific angel. Some people may need more than one, man.
No, I think I've heard a near-death experience or two where somebody's claimed to see a female angel.
Near-death experience. One time I heard about this lady that was always involved in everybody else's business. I mean, you ever known somebody like that?
I may have.
Yeah, just always involved in someone else's business. She actually had a near-death experience, and someone else's life flashed before her eyes. Isn't that crazy?
Wow.
Well, I set that one up, didn't I?
That was a good setup there.
Thank you, man. I saw it, once again, some low-hanging fruit. So, all right. So, no guardian angels, no female angels, but we have angels, and I mean, there's more than just angels, one. I mean, when angels need to be dispatched, even Jesus, when he was on trial, he said, "Hey, look, my Father can send a legion of angels, or X number of angels.
Yeah.
If need be, it'd be over."
Yeah.
And so the angels are ready to be dispatched.
Yes.
That's why they see the face of the Father. When it's time for them to go do something, they go do it.
Yeah.
And they're there to help. And
now, what have you done? What have you looked into in terms of like the hierarchy of angels? Because we know there's more than one kind of angel. Like there's a hierarchy of it.
Yeah. Well, I think you can get some of this from the proximity to the throne.
The ones that are craziest to me
Yep.
is when the Bible talks about the seraphim and the
cherubim,
the cherubim and the
and
seraphim.
you get these back and forth,
and
listed
they're
in
not even
Ezekiel.
human-like.
Yeah, you get these in Ezekiel, in Ezekiel's vision. You get
They're
this
like
in
a
Isaiah
strange
6.
combination of animal parts,
different faces
with
and-
multiple eyes all over. It's unsettling.
You have
I would
the living
say.
creatures given in Revelation 4. There's some type of there is some type of hierarchy.
But my question
Obviously,
to you, do you
would
think that's really what those beings look like, or do you think that's how they chose to appear for a symbolic reason in that vision? Like, because these beings are so powerful, I feel like they could take on any appearance that they wanted to take on. Just like the Bible says that Satan can appear as an angel of light.
Yeah.
So they can they can be like a shapeshifter. They can take on an appearance that they want to for a particular reason. So is it possible that these really strange, almost grotesque descriptions in the Bible of the cherubim and the seraphim, where they, and which one is it that has that's covered from head to toe in eyes? Which one? I can't remember now. The ones that say "Holy, holy, holy."
Well, that's Isaiah 6.
all the time.
They would cover with the wings.
They have
right?
wings that
Yeah.
cover their face, but they're covered in
But you have all
eyes.
kinds of eyes and stuff.
And it's like-
Ezekiel's will within a will, when the glory departs from the
Yeah,
temple.
and these are just really bizarre descriptions that you really can't even visualize it unless you saw it yourself.
Yeah, a lot of times you have to look up a picture somebody draws, and you're like, man, that really looks.
But is the picture accurate? Who knows? But all I'm saying is it possible that is just a symbolic view that they gave to Ezekiel and Isaiah, and
Or if you want to be that British guy, Isaiah.
Yeah. I kind of like the sound of that.
I do.
Actually.
I wish I could say Isaiah, and then they said, what's
Isaiah.
wrong with him? That's what I would get.
I think in German they say Jesaja.
Isaiah.
Yeah, because it's not really I, but anyway.
Isaiah.
Yeah. Anyway, though, the point is, I just wonder if that's somehow loaded with symbolism rather than being a literal. That's how they look all the time.
Right.
I'm not sure about that.
You got me. It could be. I mean, the book of Revelation is a book of symbols and signs. And
Yeah, and not just Revelation, but some of the stuff
other
that
thing,
Daniel
obviously,
or
yeah.
Daniel.
Say it again.
Daniel.
Is that how you really say it?
That's not how I say it, but
Man, you like that guy on that video that pronounces all these names crazy.
yeah, I'm just.
You making it up sometimes as you go.
I'm
and
just making
and
up
I just
as I go
along
along.
with it, man.
Yeah, but Daniel, some of the descriptions he gave were really bizarre. Ezekiel, Isaiah,
Yeah.
and John in Revelation. So
Yeah, could you imagine me, John, in Revelation, all he saw and all he had to deal with? I mean, as a 90-something-year-old man.
no, I cannot. No,
I mean, that's really intense.
yeah, but
But here's something else. I mean, you think about proximity to the throne, then think about Lucifer. Think about Satan, the devil. The
yeah,
proximity
it's impossible to imagine him
to the throne that he had.
the power that he has.
Yes.
He's next to God. He might be the most powerful being in the universe.
He had the
Because he's described as
you're-
the
when you
chief
say
of God's
God,
creation.
You're talking about Father, Son, and Holy Spirit.
Yeah,
Yes.
the triune God.
Triune God. Yes.
But I'm saying next to the triune God, Satan might be the most powerful being
he's been
in
given
the
authority,
universe.
man.
Because doesn't the Bible say that he was the chief of God's creation?
You go to Isaiah 14 and Ezekiel 28.
Yeah.
I mean, you get many believe those, although they're talking about earthly, but they're saying, hey, this is talking about Lucifer.
Yeah.
One actually does say that, but this is the devil.
And I
This
think
is
the fact that he was the highest,
fall.
the fact that he was the highest of God's angels is probably what caused him to fall to begin
Yeah.
with. Just his he became puffed up with his own power,
He wanted
his
it
own
all, man.
greatness. So
He wanted it all.
But,
and Yes, it was a bad move. Anyway, so we do have angels. They are ministering spirits. They are to minister to those who will inherit salvation. They want to look into salvation. I mean, it's stuff that angels want to look into. What we're talking about, redemption. I mean, it just really excites the angels. I mean, it's a glorious story of redemption.
Yeah.
And they're excited about it. They rejoice when a sinner repents, when a sinner places faith in Christ.
Well, yeah, and the things that we've been revealed to, or the things that have been revealed to us in the Bible,
yeah,
it says those are things that angels longed to look into.
Right.
So we've been blessed in the Bible with knowledge that even the angels couldn't attain to until it was revealed to us.
Yeah, and they're just like, man, I think they're on the edge of their seat watching this thing unfold, and I mean I think they're all with it, man.
Yeah, and
I don't think John Travolta is an angel.
No, definitely not.
And Patrick Swayze did one.
He might be a thetan, but he's not an angel.
A what?
A thetan.
What's that?
Or actually, he would be.
Is that like a theater person?
No, that's Scientology speak. I'm throwing some Scientology at you right now.
Man, L. Ron Hubbard?
Yeah.
Oh, goodness, man.
I got a couple of books by him. I read one of his books.
Didn't he kill himself?
No.
What happened to him?
He got old. He died.
Got old and died?
Yeah.
So, Paul, anything you want to add about the angels?
I will say this, that especially in a lot of Calvinist circles, since we've got 25 points going on here today.
Okay.
In a lot of Calvinist and Reformed circles, that son of Seth viewpoint is very popular. I believe it goes back to Augustine, probably.
Okay.
Which is true of a lot of things Calvin related. But they have this view that says that the Genesis 6 thing was talking about the godly line of Seth intermarrying with an ungodly line.
And my understanding is for the first 300 or 400 years of the church, nobody believed that. That was.
I don't think so.
That was not the track they went on.
I think it came from Augustine.
Okay.
But I definitely don't think that's biblically accurate. And one of the ways you can basically prove that it's not accurate is one of some of the early Septuagint manuscripts, specifically the ones from Alexandria. They actually translate the sons of God. They actually use the word angelos there in the Greek of the Septuagint. And for our listeners, the Septuagint is the Greek translation of the Old Testament.
And they did that down at Alexandria? Is that kind of where they were all hanging out doing the...
I believe so.
Doing the Greek thing down there?
Yeah, that's right. And
doing the Greek thing down in
the
Egypt?
Hellenized Jews, the Greek-speaking Jews. And there are some manuscripts that actually don't even say sons of God there in Genesis 6. They actually say angels in the manuscript. So it proves that they were interpreting that even before the time of Jesus. The Jews understood this to be a reference to angels, not some godly line of Seth type of idea. And as further evidence, you can also read the book of Enoch, which is ancient Jewish literature outside the Bible, and it very clearly describes these beings as angels.
Right.
They're not humans.
Now, Enoch is a book that's really coming back into favor with a lot of folks nowadays. It's not scripture, but it is quoted and referenced in Jude.
Yeah. I think it's a good read for sure.
So, and it does provide some filler information.
Yeah. Well, it purports to. I mean, we can't know that it's accurate.
But it does kind of fill in some blanks.
If nothing else, if you only take one thing from it, it shows you that the ancient Jews clearly understood the reference in Genesis 6 of the sons of God. They clearly understood that to mean angels. If you get nothing else from it, you can at least get that much from it.
At least understand that part of it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you think that you may have seen an angel, but you've been unaware.
Yeah.
Okay.
Could have been.
Well, like I say, Alabama told us that there's angels among us.
You know, I think sometimes one of the things that's kind of fishy is like you meet a stranger, but that stranger has some very specific thing to say to you for some reason that, like, why would they say that to a stranger type of thing? Makes you think, like, is that an angel?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, and we're definitely on the same page with John Travolta and Patrick Swayze. They're not angels?
No, I'm not thinking so.
Okay. All right. So, well, like we always say, like we want to make you know that we don't try to be exhaustive in the topics.
We might be exhausting.
We might be exhausting, but not exhaustive. And what we want to do is just kind of pique your curiosity on some topics, and you can go do your own research and kind of look for yourself. But we do believe that there are angels. There are angels among us. They are to help God's people.
But don't pray to an angel.
No, do not pray to an angel.
They would not want you to do that.
No, and you don't worship angels. You don't pray to an angel. They're ministering spirits sent to those who will inherit salvation.
Right.
Okay? All right, well, that's all we got for today. I want to thank you for being with us on the Uncensored Pilgrims I'm going to say progress.
Progress.
The Uncensored Pilgrims Podcast.
The Pilgrim's Progress of
The
podcast.
Uncensored Pilgrims Progress Podcast. But we hope you have a great week, and we'll see you next time. And we need to let you know that the views that we express on this podcast belong to Marty McLain and Paul Price. They are our views. They do not reflect the views of anyone else. And with that said, we hope you have a great week, and we'll see you next time on the podcast.